Every time somebody says, I want to work on something, but I gotta do X, Y, and Z, I'm like, no. Start now and learn as you go. That way, that's another thing. That's another benefit of just literally starting now. You're gonna feel like you're not gonna be good, right? So when you start now and show people are going to be impressed that you actually finish. A, people are going to be impressed that you finish something. B, and if people give you criticism, you'll be more open and honest about it because you didn't spend like half your lifetime trying to be hyper specific, like super good on something that's hyper specific and that people may not like pick up on. That's literally what I do. Because I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. I don't really have second drafts. I don't really do second drafts on my stories. Because I live by the idea of your audience is your audience is your quality assurance. So when people from your audience start complaining, if you know what your thing's about, and okay, let me rewind a little bit. Your audience is your quality assurance, right? If your audience says something sucks, understand where the criticism's coming from, know what your thing is about, so you can have at least have direction. You have to know the direction of your story. And if their criticisms gel well with the direction of your story, then that's what do they call it? Criticism that you can take and roll with. And now it's a collaborative effort with your audience of how to get better. Right now, I've just been waiting for people in my audience to criticize my work, so. So, like, either or, I'm still going to be pushing forward. And if somebody says, make sure you think about X, Y, and Z, I'll be like, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll take a look out. Like, I think I've had, like, this one criticism of, it was, like, for Metal Hero. And somebody said that, make sure that, the branches closest to the bottom are bigger than the closer to the top, because in chapter 1 of Let's Go Metal Hero, Malik just jumps in this and grabs a branch and just rips it off of a tree trunk, and it's like a pretty huge branch. My idea was it just looked cool for him to jump and grab a branch, but I think jump and grab a branch from a tree because it's fall and everything's dying. But if we try to grab and rip a branch, it's still going to stay on, you know. But hey, I was going off of the rule of cool at the end of the day, but that is something that I'll keep in mind in the future. But if somebody just tells you that X, Y, and Z is bad, and then you need to learn anatomy, you need to do X, Y, and Z, learn color theory, learn bing bang boon, that's not helpful, honestly. That's my hot take. Saying to learn X, Y, and Z is not helpful. Because I also agree with the idea of you don't. The audience will never know what the finished product is unless you say it is. But, oh yeah, you'll never know what the finished product is unless you say it is. And if somebody says, you need to do better with X, Y, and Z, it's not helpful. What is helpful is to recommend an artist to copy and just have a conversation about how a person can achieve the style that reminds them of an XYZ artist. That's my take. Hey, do you have a show like Adventure Time? Yeah, basically. If an executive go to you, basically, to pitch, they'll ask you Do you have anything like X, Y, and Z? If you think you're going to show up on the scene saying, oh man, I have like a completely unique thing. No, no one wants to hear that because that's a risk. That's a risk. Leave that for like fans of independent media, manga readers, fans of independent comics and all that stuff, and indie films and whatnot. Leave that for them. If you want to be serious and pitch to big wigs, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear, oh yeah, my thing's just like Adventure Time. I don't hate on it, to be honest. It's just that I don't believe in bad ideas, right? I just believe in poor execution. And a lot of people get to where they are because of nepotism, because nepotism is also a safe bet of something that works. Because if somebody makes something cool and they like somebody or they're related to somebody, they're like, that is going to be a risk management or whatever it's called. So it's pretty much, people can get into like good positions by nepotism. I don't hate on it, honestly. But it's usually the people at the top or people that I'm like, I don't even imagine being them looking my way in my lifetime, so it is what it is. And I think right now, a lot of companies, they're not really interested in making things that are good, because how I've been looking at news of the entertainment industry for the past couple of years, it's going to burn. I feel like it's going to burn down, honestly, because nobody wants to make things. It's not a sustainable model. Everybody hates each other. Nobody wants to make anything that people actually like. And I think everybody knows what the audience wants, or at least like the big wigs, the big companies. They know what people want. They just aren't going to provide because I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like some projects would just be more profitable as a tax write-off than an actual finished project. That's my idea. That's my conspiracy theory. Oh yeah, it's going. I hope independent media takes complete control. Stuff like glitch poachers. Yeah, I mean, my doomer reality, or my doomer hope, is that Disney, Warner Brothers, Viacom, X, Y, and Z, Ubisoft, all the big game companies, all the big producers, they go bankrupt, right? Which they aren't going to go bankrupt because they have investment firms that like literally gives them money to do whatever they're doing right now. So they're going to be bought out. Not bought out, but they're going to be bailed out to continue making whatever they want to make because because yeah, that's just unfortunately how our society, not society, but that's how the business runs as of right now. But one thing's for sure certain, I know YouTube is now a commodity. It's literally a utility. So as long as YouTube is around, or like there's a place for people to create and share and monetize their content, like independents are going to thrive. They're like, I know this is mean as a mean comparison, but like independents are like cockroaches. Like when you try to stomp them out, you're never gonna get rid of them, and that's a positive thing. I say that as a positive thing because when independents, they are more restricted, and restriction breeds creativity. So that's why I'm always bullish on like independent stuff, or just the idea of independent media. And the one thing that I've noticed about dialogue is make sure the characters are generally asking questions. Because I noticed this when I was writing the first chapter of Book 3 of Purgatory Academy. I haven't written in a while during that time, so the way that the characters were speaking, they weren't asking each other questions. So they were talking at each other instead of having a conversation. So I remember I showed it to Matt, and he gave me that idea. He gave me that criticism. So when I was looking back, I I guess I was like watching a movie or something, and I was taking notice of how many questions people were asked in a scene. And I looked at my dialogue, and I noticed that they weren't asking each other questions at all, and that's what made it feel so weird. And that's why I realized. Yeah, and that's what I realized. Just have characters ask questions because the characters are learning as the audience are. So it won't be weird because everybody's just curious and they don't. Everybody is not up, on the up and up.